Yo, welcome back to the channel. Kamusta sa inyong lahat? Wuthering Waves has done it again. Just when you thought the game couldn't get any more engaging, the developers, Kuro Games, have introduced a revolutionary new mechanic, the art of self-sabotage. Gone are the days of mindlessly bashing enemies with overpowered attacks. Now, with a carefully curated selection of negative effects, every battle is a delicate dance between obliterating your enemies and completely ruining your own existence. This isn't just any combat system tweak. This is the dawn of a new era, a fresh, punishing, and surprisingly strategic system where your own strength is a double-edged sword. In Genshin Impact, these kinds of effects are known as elemental reactions, but in Wuthering Waves, they are called attribute effects. These negative status effects act as the game's own version of elemental reactions, making combat more fun and engaging by ensuring that both you and your enemies suffer together. Adding unique attribute effects that impact both sides is a fantastic new addition that deepens gameplay strategy and keeps every battle unpredictable. Because why should your enemies be the only ones suffering, right? The art of suffering. How the new negative effects work. Well, let's break it down. The new negative status effects bring an extra layer of complexity to Wuthering Waves combat by applying continuous damage, weakening enemy stats, and manipulating battle conditions. Here's what you can look forward to. First off, Spectro-Frazzle turns battles into a ticking time bomb where enemies take persistent spectro damage. But wait, did you think you were immune? Wrong! If an enemy manages to reflect or counter this effect, you'll find yourself taking continuous chip damage that laughs in the face of your healing attempts. Next in line is Aero Erosion. This is for those who love a bit of existential dread. This one stacks over time, is slowly shredding the enemy's resistance. But if you're caught in the storm, say hello to watching your characters melt away as if you never invested in their defenses in the first place. Up next, Electro Flare weakens enemy attack power, which sounds great until you realize that enemies can use this against you. Congratulations! Your main DPS now hits like a wet noodle. Better luck next time. And then we have Fusion Burst. This is pure chaos incarnate. When it maxes out, it unleashes a devastating burst of fusion damage. Sounds powerful? Sure, until you're the one getting blasted into oblivion because the enemy stacked it on your squad instead. Then we have Glacial Chaff. It slows enemy down, but here's the fun part. If it stacks on you, get ready for a humiliating defeat as your character crawls at the speed of a sunbathing turtle before being completely frozen in place. Don't worry, it only makes you an easy target for every attack imaginable. And of course, last but not the least, the piece de resistance, Havoc Bane. It automatically stacks over time, and when maxed out, it detonates, hitting everyone, including you. That's right, the game now has a you get nuked 2 mechanic. Fair and balanced, just as all things should be. So, what does this mean for combat? This system isn't just about making fights harder, it's about making them more engaging. Now tell me, who doesn't love a battle where you spend as much time dodging your own debuffs as you do attacking the enemy? Every choice matters now, because a single misstep could mean inflicting yourself with enough negative effects to make even the most masochistic players weep. And you think you're setting up a brilliant strategy? Well, so does the enemy AI. And guess what? They're playing by the same rules. This means you might go in expecting an easy win, only to find your own team getting wrecked by the very effects you were trying to use. Truly innovative game design. Karma at its finest. But what makes this truly special is how it ties into Wuthering Waves' core combat philosophy. Instead of a traditional elemental reaction system like Genshin Impact, this game uses attributes to dictate how abilities interact. The introduction of these new negative effects make Wuthering Waves' attribute-based combat even more dynamic, more engaging, and more immersive. No longer are we just applying standard debuffs. We're now dealing with stackable, escalating consequences that shape the entire battlefield. These effects don't just alter how we fight, they redefine how we think about combat. Positioning, timing, and counterplay become more crucial than ever, making every encounter feel fresh, dangerous, and incredibly rewarding when mastered. So, is this actually good? Of course, there are some who might question the brilliance of this new system. Isn't this just making the game unnecessarily punishing? They will ask. To which we say, absolutely. And that's the whole point. This isn't about fairness. This is about forging unbreakable warriors through trial and suffering. Think of it as natural selection in the gaming world. Only the strongest or the most stubborn will persevere. If you don't like it, maybe you just need to get good and embrace the pain. Others might argue that this could make certain fights frustrating rather than fun. But come on, where's the thrill if you're not constantly on the edge of disaster? Isn't that what makes gaming truly memorable? And of course, the haters will say, it's just another example of Wuthering Waves copying mechanics from other games. But let's be real. Evolution is all about taking inspiration and making things better. Sure, elemental reactions exist in other titles, but Wuthering Waves has elevated the concept into something far more exhilarating. Instead of simple interactions, we now have a high-risk, high-reward system that puts players in constant peril. That's not copying, people, that's friggin' innovation. So, it's time to embrace the suffering and pain. At the end of the day, Wuthering Waves has given us a gift, a combat system that forces us to adapt, suffer, and strategize like never before. This is the natural evolution of this game. And who needs predictable one-sided fights when you can have the constant looming threat of sabotaging yourself at any given moment? So let's all take a moment to appreciate this absolute masterpiece of game design. Because in Wuthering Waves, pain isn't just an obstacle, it's a way of life. And honestly, we wouldn't have it any other way. Now, go forth and start preparing to inflict those debuffs. But let me leave you with a friendly advice. Try not to accidentally destroy your own team in the process. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you won't miss any of my upcoming content. Also, it's one way to help me fight the algorithm of YouTube, which is picking on me at the moment. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and goodbye.